What is up, YouTube? And today we're showcasing the brand new Floatzel card. Now this card doesn't look very good. It's kind of innocuous, very similar to the old Bruxish that deals bonus damage if the opponent already has damage on them. Now this is going to deal 10 plus 60 if they are hit, but it's only 1 energy. Now being a stage 1 makes it harder to find than something like Bruxish, but 1 energy is so much easier to get to so quickly. When the opponent is trying to ramp up, we can start to distribute all our energy across the board, and suddenly we have some pretty potent stage 1 threats that are only worth 1 point. We are pairing this up with the Greninja line. This allows us to deal 20 damage once Greninja is set up, and we will be pinging them while we then grab Floatzel and attack for an extra 60 damage. So that's 90 damage a turn with Greninja plus Floatzel, and we can get to that point really quickly. We have consistency cards like Pokeball, Research, and Iono. We have to try to get that Greninja going, but even then there are some games where we never get Greninja online, but the damage from Floatzel and Buizel just stacks up too quickly. We're using the Buizel that deals 10 damage. It doesn't change a lot of math to use the 21 with 60 HP. The 60 HP one dies to a lot more things like Darkrai plus Druddigon. You're not able to have that extra 10 HP threshold. We are playing the Iono. This is going to help keep some of our water Pokemon alive with the water energy attached. We're such an energy efficient deck that we will often have water energy on all of our Mons. We can get some pretty big healing, especially against like fight box decks. We have a single copy of Bruxish. This is just nice to get set up later in the game. Does the same amount of damage as Floatzel, but 2 energy, so comes on a little slower. I had a lot of fun playing Bruxish when Genetic Apex came out with the Greninja line, but you're not able to have Greninja as much of a threat as quickly. Greninja in itself is a very good attacker. If you lead with Froakie, turn 2 you Frogadier, you attack for 30, suddenly our Floatzel's online. We can have that in the back. We can switch out for 1 energy, get Greninja set up, have Floatzel out. There's just a lot of fun things a low efficiency deck can do. We're playing the helmets to make it where the opponent is taking more of that chip damage, and we're always set up on our turn to hit hard. We've got Pokeball and Research and Iono for consistency's sake. We've got Red for those really big damage pushes. Against something like Giratina that has 150 health, they attack for 30. We've attacked, they will deal 20 to themselves. We've already pinged them with something. We're dealing 70 with Floatzel or Bruxish, plus another 20 from Red. Suddenly, that's 130 damage, and we are just coming at them really hard. I mean, Giratina hits himself to 130, Greninja Strike for 110. If Floatzel attacks, that's 90. We just have to find 20 damage somewhere else, which is, guess what? Another Giratina attack. Hopefully by then we've already pinged it a couple times with something like Greninja. But yeah, the deck is just a lot of fun, really exciting, and it's so cool when cards come out like this just out of the blue and do some innocuous fun things. So without further ado, we're going to roll right into the games. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoy it, leave a like, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're getting close to 50 subscribers, and I hope you can help us get there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll smell you later. All right, and here we are in the games. We are going to be going first, seeing what we're playing against. We see a grass energy, probably that Meowscarada. There's the Sprigatito. We lead with Froakie and get a Frogadier immediately. This is one of the nice things about leading with Froakie is on turn 2, we'll evolve, and then we'll be able to attack for 30 damage right away. We've got the Irida. We don't have Buizel, which is unfortunate. Watching Floatzel just kind of rot in our hand feels bad. They set the Weedle up. They're going to Pokeball and see what they pull. Looks like they've got the Sprigatito too. They're just going to call for family. Depending on what they get, because this isn't the Executor EX version, we are going to go ahead and evolve, checking our hand out, seeing what we can do. I'm thinking about the Rocky helmet. It's, is it something I want to do? I will use it. That way, if they do evolve and attack, we will hit them back. But 30 damage, that Sprigatito is already at risk, and we're going to see what they end up doing. They've got the evolution in the back line, but Meowscarada is not as scary if you're not running EX Mons. They are crying for help, so they're probably got exactly what they need, and we are going to get this other Froakie set up. Greninja comes out though, and this is such a good line for him. The 20 damage plus the Miss Slash, we don't even have to use this on the Sprigatito in front of us. We're just going to start pressuring probably the Weedle, and yeah, we're going to go from there. We are going to knock Kakuna out if it comes out. We've got Sprigatito, and we're already online. 80 damage on turn 3 consistently, and being able to kind of spread it out is pretty good. This Greninja remains relevant. We've seen him in like the Darkrai Druddigon decks, but him actually being able to be an attacker is good too. The Meowscarada us for 60. We are going to do that damage back with the Rocky helmet, and we have Iona. I am going to go ahead and get this Bruxish set up though. Because he's already damaged, we can heal up, so we're not going to be knocked out by anything he can do. We'll do our Water Shuriken damage. We're going to pressure this Weedle, say, hey, we're coming at you. Next turn, Bruxish is going to knock you out, and Greninja is going to knock out the Weedle. So you got to have something. They do evolve into Kakuna, so they don't get taken out immediately. And they are going to heal. Erica, very potent. Healing can be good against this deck, but thanks to the Rocky Helmet, and since we already have Greninja set up, we're never going to miss out on that extra damage. We draw Research, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and think about how we want to do it. Get Bruxish out there. Use that second strike damage to get it really close to being KO'd. I'm Ioning. I want to set up for another Weasel or get the other Froakie online. We do draw the Frogadier. If we get that other Greninja, we're just going to be Water Shurikening our opponents. We deal the 70 with second strike, taking out the Meowscarada. Even if they Beedrill EX, I'm in such a favorable position. We can always attack with second strike damage, and there's the Beedrill with 130 HP, and they're grunting us. This could potentially be bad, and they miss. We could be in a weird spot if it lands where we get mana locked and have to run, but I don't think it actually stops us from winning, and they're going to go ahead and concede. It's just that easy. We're going to be going first. I'm leading with Weasel. Such a great starter, actually. Being able to utilize the fact that the Floatzel attacks with 1 energy. Now, they deal the same amount of damage. We're playing against a Pikachu deck. There is an electric deck, and we do have an electric weakness, but this Pikachu takes so long to get online. We'll Pokeball. That'll get us our other Weasel, so we've got double Weasel Floatzel already. I'm feeling pretty decent. Next turn, we'll be able to attack, deal some damage, and then just be hitting really hard really quickly. They're just going to power up that Pikachu. It does answer all our water types in 1 hit, but once it's down, it's not going to be able to recharge quickly. Going to save the Floatzel in hand. I don't want to reveal that this is something we could do to them yet. This is a brand new card. People aren't going to be playing around it or necessarily thinking. They're going to research. It looks like they're trying to get the Luxray set up. Luxray Pikachu, pretty okay. I have a version of this deck with Electivire. That's a lot of fun, and it doesn't use the Luxray. They're going to Pokeball as well. See what they can get set up. Patchy on the bench, pretty good. They can go ahead and switch out to that, get that energy back thanks to the Pachirisu, and charge that Pikachu up once again. We are going to get going to the races, though. We've got the Floatzel set up. We're just going to deal damage to Patchy. Again, we don't have the Froakie to get set up, unfortunately, but we have Floatzel. Too many Fs in this deck. They're going to attack for weakness, but we have 10 health. We can't get knocked out by it unless they like Giovanni. And we drew Irida, so we can heal up as well. We've got Floatzel coming out. He one-shots this Pachirisu. Right there. It's back to dealing a ton of damage, and now we're going to see what the opponent does. They can send the Pikachu in, but this card has to give up all of its energy, not just 3. I think this card would be way better if it would just deal 3 energy. They're going to heal to full, so we are not going to be able to deal that increased damage this turn, but hopefully we can get going fast enough before the Pikachu can get rebuilt back up. There's that Thunderbolt, 170 damage, way overkill on our poor little Floatzel. We'll send out our full art Weasel, looking good, and draw. We draw Research, which is great. We have to get another basic online. We draw another Research and Greninja. This is a little awkward. We will just Water Gun, you know. Floatzel will come out. As long as they don't potion back, we can start getting some damage. I just don't want them to know we have the Floatzel. They're going to X-Speed to run away, get the Pachirisu coming in to get recharging again. They do have the power of the advantage, but unless they're running Giovanni, which you could run in Pikachu deck actually over, but we have Bruxish. Bruxish is something good to get set up later, and we've got the Research. We've got Helmet and Froakie. Finally, we can get our Frogadier online. We're going to bring Bruxish out as an opportunity to keep ourselves in the game, have someone else that can't get Sabrina in while we get the Greninja set up, because the Greninja setup is going to be really important. I go ahead and evolve the Floatzel. I don't really need to do that. Probably better to save it, honestly, in case the opponent Ionas, so we could have a better chance at getting something else that we need. But with the Froakie and the Greninja in hand, they're going to attack. They're going to get that Pikachu set up, but they still need 2 points as opposed to our needing just to knock out the Pikachu. We will get the other Froakie, we'll get this Frogadier, and then we're going to get Bruxish set up and ready to go because he can come in and get the knockout. We're going to Rocky Helmet our Floatzel, and we're going to go ahead and heal back to full. This is going to, I don't remember exactly what Luxio's damage is, but if Luxio could come, it could be a problem. So what we're going to do, get the KO there. Then the opponent has to come in. They're going to revenge kill us with Pikachu, but then he's just a sitting duck. Rocky Helmet. It doesn't matter if he potions. He's going to take that extra damage. We've got Greninja, and we've got Bruxish on the backline. So yeah, here we go. Pokemon Center Lady heals him to full. Normally that would be a big issue for this deck, but because we've got the Rocky Helmet set up, he's going to take 20. So he's going to suddenly take increased Bruxish damage, so he's down to 100. We're going to send Bruxish in, and then we're going to have Greninja, and then we have red. And it's just that easy. I like this deck a lot. There's a lot of like cerebral things going on and thinking about what the opponent's going to send in and how to get them. There's the 20 damage. There's the second strike bonus damage with red. And just like that, we beat a deck that we're weak to. All right, we are going to be going second this time. Not bad for this deck either. Really, we can go first with like Weasel or Froakie, or we can go second and just start getting attacking and getting our damage down. We're seeing what we're playing against. We're playing up against another grass deck. This deck's been really popular on the ladder, especially at the lower Ultra Ball tier. Meowscarada does so well against so many of the different EX mons, and we are going to see that Weedle again. We saw earlier that we had a good matchup because Meowscarada can't take us out, and we're going to see if it continues. We've got the Froakie. I don't feel the need to put the Weasel. Again, we're looking for get that Greninja online, and having it in our hand as Iona, an extra material for Iona from us or the opponent is really good. We draw the Floatzel, so we get our Weasel set up, and just like that, Sprigatito is out. He's knocked out. There's really something powerful about the early attacking pressure of things like Skarmory, this new Floatzel, the Executor, Sneasel with the Dawn combo. You can just take surprising wins. They've got Kakuna now. They're going to Sabrina us in, but everything we have takes 1 energy retreat. And we're already still set up. They're going to string shot us if we have... Okay, they don't get the paralysis. We can get out of it with Floatzel, but we don't have Floatzel in hand, so that could have been a little annoying. We draw, and there's the Floatzel anyway, so it wouldn't have even mattered because we could have gotten out of that paralysis. We're going to put the 1 energy on the Bruxish to get it set up and ready to go. We're going to check out our full art Weasel just because it looks so good, deciding exactly how I want to go about this turn. And we're going to retreat out, that way we can keep him. Then we'll think about the Floatzel. I think I'm going to wait, and we'll just attack. Next turn, we knock Kakuna out. We will deal 70, we'll knock it out. If it doesn't Beedrill right now, and he does, so he's not out of it yet, but the Rocky Helmet, he's never going to be able to hit us and not take damage in return. We deal 20, we're going to be able to attack and deal at least 70, and then we'll be able to come back and crack them out on the crackback. So attacking the wound, their Beedrill is down to 70. Because we only need 1 energy on everything, we're never out of it. We're going to get knocked out, and then we'll use the 1 energy we need on Floatzel. They'll Cyrus our other one in, doesn't matter. They're going to take 20 less health because of it, and they just go ahead and concede. That's the power of this deck. Beedrill can't do anything against us. All right, we're in the next game. We're going first, and again, this deck doesn't mind first or second. It depends, as long as we don't lead with Bruxish, right? That's the only time that we care a little bit more about going first or second. Bruxish is the slowest part. Thinking about reconsidering it. Oh, we've got Giratina and a Palkia deck. If we can get going quick enough with Greninja, we can really put some pressure down. So we're going to Pokeball. We've got Bruxish. We're going to Pokeball, and we get the Froakie. I really want to see Weasel. Floatzel really the star of the deck. There's Floatzel and there's Froakie, but we need the Weasel. As long as we can get it set up next to a Greninja, we're just dealing so much damage. Bruxish can do that job too, just comes out a little slower. It's going to put us a turn behind. Rocky Helmet, we're not that concerned about it. As long as we don't get set up for a Dimensional Storm KO from the Palkia, the Rocky Helmet isn't going to change any of the math. They were knocking us out with everything anyway. Giratina, one of the funny things is he knocks himself out too. So we've got double Floatzel in hand, which is a little annoying. We will Water Drip, deal that 30 damage. He's down to 120. We should be able to get some pressure going soon. This is where having the Weasel would have been really good, because next turn we could Froakie out, go straight into Weasel, and with the Floatzel and deal 70 damage, and that Giratina would already be on the clock. Because we did not draw it, and we did not get the Floatzel set up, and we have Bruxish on the back line, we're a turn behind. So I'm kind of thinking if I want to take the damage, if this changes any math, if I'm going to get slashed by a leaf, and I decide to go ahead and do it. We'll Water Drip. If I decide if they pull out the Palkia, I'm okay. I can send something else in. Probably a mistake, actually, but sorry, I have 40 health left. It's not a mistake at all. So they would have to Giovanni plus slash us, which if they do that, they were going to win this game anyway. We can now knock out the Giratina with a Greninja plus the Bruxish. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. They're setting up a Rocky Helmet. We're going to have some broken space-time bellows. It looks like they're setting up the back one because they know the first one is in danger. We're going to research Helmet and Weasel. Weasel's good. We really wanted to see Greninja here, though. We're just kind of a turn behind. If we had Greninja, we could knock out this Giratina right here, but we are going to use the fact that we have Rocky Helmet. We're getting these two set up. I'm setting the Rocky Helmet up now, so if we get Sabrina'd, we can send this guy in and get the knockback because we already have the Bruxish. So if we send Weasel in and they attack, they can't attack with Giratina yet. It's going to take some more time. But I'm feeling pretty good from this position, but we are a turn behind. They Misty and they miss. Okay, thank goodness it's Misty, because that Palkia would, if setting up the other Palkia, would make it where it is impossible for us to win. They're bellowing though. They're in the background. We need Greninja and we get Froakie and this Frogadier. Greninja would be dealing so much damage right now, but that's how stage 2s work. Sometimes you get a little unlucky. And Iona would go really hard because we could put our deck hand back. We will knock out the Giratina. We have the Floatzel, but we really needed the Greninja to start pecking away and hitting these water shurikens from the back line before, because now they're going to send the Palkia in. They are going to be able to knock us out. Not with Slash, thankfully. They have to use the Dimensional Storm. It's going to deal a lot of damage across the board, but we have Iona, so that helps. And as long as we can keep the pressure up, we might be able to still the win. As soon as we get a Greninja online and we get Floatzel going, they're going to throw that energy on the Palkia, and they're going to attack. Thankfully for us, we have the Rocky Helmet. They'll take some recoil damage from that. And now we can come in with our Floatzel and attack for pretty big damage. We are going to need to Iona or we will get knocked out. We have Greninja though, so we can restore our health via that. We can Water Shuriken away at this Palkia. We have Red to deal some bonus damage, and we are going to come in swinging. It's got 90 health. It's got 20 health left. If we had gotten anything a turn earlier, this would be knocked out. Hopefully they don't have a potion or some way to heal this Palkia, but they don't have much. And there's the Iona. So unfortunately now we're just a turn behind. They're going to pull it out. It's in safety mode now. There's no way for us to get it. They will attack with that Giratina. If we had found the Greninja one turn earlier, we would have been able to take it out. If we would have found the Floatzel instead of the Bruxish at the beginning of the game, those Weasels were just hiding away in their little weasel, you know, inhabitation places. We get the other Greninja. We are going to be able to throw it down. We've got the Water Shuriken. We've got the Water Shuriken, and we are going to have the Surf, but we did not draw red either, and that is unfortunately going to be the game for our opponent. But we were so close to winning this, and against Giratina and a Palkia deck, yeah, we'll take that recoil damage. We'll let them go. We'll kind of check our cards out for a second and see what they're going to do. What's their last play? They've got the other Irida. Man, we were so close, but we'll concede. Going into this game, we're going second. We never hurt to see that. We've got Weasel and we've got Floatzel. That's a great opening hand. We've even got Professor's Research, Frogadier, who's the one who's always hiding. They've got Darkrai. So we are playing against Darkrai. I'm sure they've got Giratina too. They're going to Pokeball. That's going to be exactly what they need. Hopefully they don't, and they have Research. You know, Pokeball Research, best starting hand anyone can ask for. They've got the Giratina set up, and they're just about to start bellowing. Now, I have played so many decks that just lose to 4 bellows and then lose the game. So let's see how this one does. We're going to Research. We draw Pokeball and Helmet. That's pretty decent. Go ahead and throw the Pokeball down. There's our Froakie. We can start getting our Greninja set up. If we can get that set up in a decent time, we are going to be in a good spot. Weasel dealing 10 damage. It's down to 130. If they don't potion, we're going to be able to hit really hard. Darkrai's dealing is 20 damage. This is why we use this Weasel. He's got 70 HP instead of 60, which means we can kind of just survive some corner cases with things like Helmet and stuff. We are going to Iona after we place our 2 stage 1s down, and we see the Greninja. That's exactly what we want to see. And we even have Bruxish. I go ahead and set it up. That way next turn, it's ready to go. We're going to want to keep Greninja around. We'll attack the wound, and Darkrai is already at risk next turn. If they don't potion or do something, they're going to lose it and 2 points, and they're not going to be close to knocking us out. They have Druddigon, and while we put the pressure on really early, they're going to start being a little more methodical. They pull Druddigon out, and they're going to cape the Giratina, so it's harder for us to knock it out, and they're going to Rocky Helmet the Druddigon. This puts us in a weird position. What we don't want to happen is have Darkrai knock something out with the 20 damage, and then Giratina get a free hit in. We're going to draw Irida, which is great. They're playing a slower game plan now, and so can we. We can hit them back with the patience. We've got Floatzel, and we've got Bruxish, both operating with low energy, so we can retreat them out kind of freely. We'll Water Shuriken. I'm going to go ahead and think about this for a second. I think about Druddigon and being able to apply the pressure there, but I actually want to get Giratina at a point where with something like Red or with a few more chip aways, if it ever comes in, Weasel, the Floatzel, or Bruxish can take it out in return. They're going to deal 20 damage to us with the Darkrai. They can also play slow and methodical. So many games you can hide behind Druddigon and just put that dark energy energy on Darkrai and tell your opponent they have to make a move. We really are just playing, playing possum, not playing possum, but we will Rocky Helmet our Bruxish. So if they do make the decision to come in, we're dealing extra chip damage. And now we're just going to use this Greninja as wisely as we can. If we can get the other one set up, we're out damaging them. And we have Irida, which means we'll be in a better spot in this little war we're having. They're getting the other one set up as well. We're going to Pokeball. We need to see the Froakie, and we see Buizel. We really want to save this last slot for getting the Greninja set up. But we are going to hit this Darkrai and say, hey, you got to start doing something, buddy, because this Darkrai and those 2 Dark Energies are going to be gone. I think about some math for a second. Bruxish won't be knocked out by anything they can do except without Leaf, and if they do that, we'll still be in an okay position. Darkrai hits us for that 20 damage. We're down to 30. The opponent's waiting, figuring out what they want to do too, because they can't put energy, and there's the Leaf. They can't put the energy on the Druddigon and still deal the Darkrai damage, right? So they're going to Leaf and pull the Giratina out. They've gotten impatient. They don't want to play this game with us anymore. They're going to Chaotic Impact us and deal as much damage to themselves as they steal a point from us between Giratina's Recoil and Rocky Helmet. This lets us send Floatzel in. We draw Rocky Helmet ourselves. We're going to go ahead and put it on Floatzel so that if something happens, we can have it ready to go. I'm thinking about how I want to do this. We'll get the Buizel now that we have room for the other Froakie, and I'm going to go ahead and heal. This is going to make it where I will knock... the opponent has to dedicate a Dark Energy to the Darkrai now, but the Darkrai's... Basically, we're putting this Giratina in a situation where he cannot attack, because if he attacks, he's going to knock himself out. Darkrai is 1 Greninja hit away, and Giratina is a hit away. We put the Buizel down for insurance for Sabrina. Now this Buizel comes out. They can knock it out, but for what? To what end? They will hit themselves if they do that. If they pull the energy off Giratina to pull Darkrai in, we knock it out, and then we get a free hit in with Floatzel. So they're going to deal that poke damage. They're going to impact. They're going to tie us up on the points, 2-2, but we're in a much more favorable position, and in fact, we are just going to win the game. Druddigon comes out. It does not matter, because they don't have the ability to take us out right now. We've got the Darkrai, the 20 ping, but wait, it could be bad. They could knock us out. If they have another Leaf, we're in a bad position. So I'm kind of thinking about this now. Is there a way they can knock us out and take our ability to win the game? I think about attacking the wounds, and I'm realizing now I've misplayed. What I wanted to do, we were losing to Leaf always, but before we were losing to Potion. Now we're in a situation where no matter who they Potion, we will get the victory because they're marging our hand, which doesn't matter. Druddigon has 90 health, Darkrai has 20. If they Potion and they concede, there's no Potion, we didn't have to play around it, the Leaf was there, and we managed to steal a win against one of the best decks in the meta.